Hi everyone, today we are going to talk about 12.1 data collection. You will learn how uh, the methods of data collection and determine if any method is biased or not. So today I'm going to pass each slide very quick in this video. You can pause each time and read and study by yourself. And after all the slide is done, we'll have go over the questions together. So, or you can go open the Google slide and study it there. It's okay. All right. So let's go. It'll be very quick. So data collection. There are 5 ways. And then what is the census from the data collection? So how about simulation? When do you use it? What is observational study? What survey? And then advantage, what is about advantages of surveys? So experimental study. What is experimental study? And then what is randomization? So what happens if a sample is not random? If it is not random, there is a bias will be introduced. So observational study versus designed experimental. What's bias? Yes. 4 types of bias. Response bias, voluntary response bias, non-response, and the coverage. And how to avoid this bias? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then sampling errors. Right? Read it and study by yourself like this. How is this possible? For sampling errors, especially when you take SAT in the 2 different times, the samples might be different, right? If the sample might be different. First one is the honor students, more the smarter, much smarter students to take it, and then second one is not, then there might be bias, right? That's the sampling errors. Measurement errors. Then the randomization activity. Think about this. All right, that's all you need to study by yourself. And then from here, let's go over a few questions together. So number 1, a random sample of 100 people that would best estimate the proportion of all registered voters in a district who support improvements to the high school football field should be drawn from registered voters in the district at what? Which place? To improve the high school football field. So to ask people, it shouldn't be biased, right? The people shouldn't have any favor for it. You know what I'm saying? Or against it. So which place with the best field? Less biased, the least biased. The football game, obviously very biased, right? They favor the for this football field. School fundraiser, a little bit less than number one, but it might be biased also. High school band concert, opposite. They might be against it, right? A supermarket, it's very random people. Most of the people come regardless of they like it or not, right? Because, so answer might is number two. Number two, a researcher randomly divides 50 bean plants into two groups. He puts one group by a window to receive natural light and the second group under artificial light. He records the growth of the plants weekly. Which data collection method is described in this situation? It's not observational study. Observational study, you just watch. But this one is a controlled experiment because the researcher controlled the two groups, right? One group put the one group in the for the natural light, the other group for the artificial light, and then see what's going on. So its answer is number two. Number three is a free response. So question. So Chuck's Trucking Company has decided to initiate an Employee of the Month program. To determine the recipient, they put the following sign on the back of each truck. How is my driving? Call 1555 driving. The driver who received the highest number of positive comments will win the recognition. Explain one statistical bias in this data collection method. What is the bias? So there could be many different answers. So I will show you one example. A possible bias could occur because there may be one car driving behind this truck for a long time, so they may not get as many cars as another truck. So too little sample, right? Number 17, which scenario is best described as observational study? You know what is observational study, right? Just the researcher doesn't do anything, just take a look and get the data from it. Answer is number one, students in health class ask every 10th student, every 10th students is randomization, right? So it's nothing to do with the observational. Number two is answer. Researcher wants to learn whether or not there is a link between attendance and grades. She gathers data from 15 school districts. She gets the data and see if there's a link between attendance and grade. So she doesn't control anything, right? Just look at the data. That's observational study. You understand, right? So number three wants to learn whether or not there's a link between children's daily amount of physical activity and their overall energy level. During lunch at the local high school, she distributed a short questionnaire to students in the cafeteria. So this is not observational study, this is survey, right? Number four, 60 seniors taking a course in advanced algebra concepts are randomly divided into two classes. One class uses a graphing calculator and the other class never uses the graphing calculators. A guidance counselor wants to determine whether there is a link between graphing calculator use and students' final exam grade. So to control the group, use the graphing calculator and not using the graphing calculator. It's a controlled experiment, right? Number three, cheap and fast gas station is conducting a consumer satisfaction survey. Which method of collecting data would most likely lead to a biased sample? So we choose most biased, right? Most biased sample. So interviewing every fifth is random. Every fifth customer is random, right? It's not biased. Interviewing customer chosen at random by a computer at the checkout. It's a randomization. Very good. It's not biased. Interviewing customers who call on 800 number posted on the customers. Is it random or not? Let's think about number 4 first. Interviewing every customer who comes into the station on a day of the week chosen at random out of our head. kind of randomization. Number 3 is the answer 800 number. Who is calling? Mostly those who have a strong opinion, right? So they might have a strong opinion. So it might be very biased. Okay. So that's it. So we are going to stop here.